Good morning. Happy Sunday. Believe it or not, this actually is a farming feed. It may not seem that way because I've made 3 posts in a row about politics, but farming is political. In fact, all the stuff that people think is wrong with farming, like the humongous farms, the consolidation, the worker abuse, the multi-generational issues, all of that stuff is actually political in origin. One of the things I wish I knew when I got into agriculture 11 years ago was that the fight that we're fighting to create better food systems are fundamentally a political issue and a business development issue. It's those things as much as it is a cultural issue around farming and getting back to the land and all the non-business elements that are also important but are also maybe overemphasized when we talk about food sovereignty. So anyway, because social media is what it is, the posts that I make about politics get way more engagement than my posts that are actually about farming. You'll see people whining in comments of my political posts that all I ever post about is politics, and that's just not true. The algorithm just doesn't really push my farming content. So for people that are looking to get into farming, if you're off the land, you're not on the land yet, and you want to figure out how you can get involved, how you can help in this movement, I wrote a book specifically for you to teach you all the things that I wish I knew when I got into this 11 years ago. And honestly, the things that I didn't know could have ruined my life. The book talks about the history of agriculture in the United States and how we can draw a line from the plantation system to where we are now with farm consolidation and cash-oriented crops that don't seem all that concerned with feeding people. It talks about the shifts that are necessary in your thinking to start getting away from idealizing the small independent farm and thinking more about farming in teams, farming as groups, approaching scale, actually capitalizing yourself well so that regenerative, good, wholesome, restorative agriculture can be done in a way that actually reaches most people. And lastly, it talks in detail about what me and my partners are doing with Blackbird Farms to try to make that happen in the real world. So we get away from the abstract theorizing and talk about what my team is actually doing. The book is made specifically for first-generation farmers, so for people who aren't on the land yet, who don't have farms and are looking for a way to get involved. And I will be perfectly honest, it is as likely to convince you to not get into farming as it is to convince you to get into farming. It is a 179-page ebook. You can probably read it in about a day. And like I said, it's the book I wish existed when I got into this. So you got a whole Sunday ahead of you. Feel free to click the link in my bio and grab yourself a copy and read all about food sovereignty and all the stuff that I've learned and every mistake I've made in 11 years in agriculture.